Okay, problem 2. When a certain grocery store opens, it has 50 pounds of bananas on a display table. Customers remove bananas from the display table at a rate modeled by F of t. I'm just going to circle remove, where F of t is measured in pounds per hour and t is measured in hours. Okay. After the store has been open for 3 hours, store employees add bananas to the display at a rate modeled by G of t, where G of t is measured in pounds per hour. And I'm just going to do one thing here. I'm going to circle this 3, that bananas don't start being added to the display until 3 hours after the store has opened. And once again, G is measured in pounds per hour. Okay, part A. How many pounds of bananas are removed from the display table during the first 2 hours the store is open? So how many pounds of bananas? I have a rate and I want to know how many pounds. So we're going to take the integral of that. We're going to go from 0 to 2 of F of t dt. And when we do that, we will get 20.015 pounds of bananas, and it already asked for how many pounds, so we didn't really need to put our units. We're going to get 1 point for the correct integral setup and 1 point for the correct answer. And just to make sure that we would know why we were going to take the integral, F of t was pounds per hour, 0 to 2 is hours, so if you take pounds per hour times hours, you just get pounds, which is exactly where we wanted to be. Okay, for part B, it says to find f prime of 7. Well, we are given f, so to find f prime of 7, we are simply just going to use math 8. So we're just going to let the calculator find the derivative for us. If we do that, we're going to get negative 8.120. Okay, and then it says, using correct units, explain the meaning of f prime of 7 in the context of the problem. So whenever we take a derivative, something is changing. So f is changing. Well, what is f? F is a rate. It's how fast the customers are removing the bananas from the display. So at t equals 7 hours, what is changing? The rate is changing. The rate at which bananas, are being removed from the display. What is happening? Is the rate increasing or decreasing? It is decreasing. Okay, how fast is it decreasing? It's decreasing at a rate of 8.120 pounds per hour, or we could put pounds per hour squared. Okay, this was worth 2 points. You got 1 point for finding the negative 8.120, and then you got 1 point for this next spot. We pretty much need to have all of that information in there to get your full point, but if you had a question and would like to read your sentence to me, you certainly may. Okay, part C, is the number of pounds of bananas on the display table increasing or decreasing at time t equals 5? Well, if I want to know are the pounds increasing or decreasing, I pretty much need to compare how many pounds are coming in, how many pounds are going out. So that is what I'm going to do here. So I'm going to find f of 5, because that's how many pounds are being removed. And I'm going to find g of 5, because that's how many pounds are being added. And let's just see what's happening. So if I find f of 5, that is 13.796. If I find g of 5, that's 11.533. And I notice that there are more pounds being removed than being added. So if there are more pounds being removed than added, we would know the number is decreasing. The number is decreasing. And I could simply say, because f of 5 is greater than g of 5. I could also say something like g of 5 minus f of 5 is less than 0. So how many are being added minus how many are going out, that ended up being a negative number. So either one of those would be fine. If you considered f of 5 and g of 5, so you tried to do something with those, you're going to get a point. And then if you say it's decreasing with an answer, a reason, you also got a point. Right, then part D, how many pounds of bananas are on the display at time t equals 8? Okay, in order to figure out how many pounds are there at the end of the day, we need to figure out how many did we start with, plus how many were added, minus how many were removed. So that's where we're going to be set up. So we started with 50 pounds of bananas when the store opened. So 50 plus how many were added. Well, G is how many were, the rate at which they were adding. So we are going to find the integral of that. But notice they were not starting to be added till time 3. So, and we're stopping at time equals 8. So we're going to go from 3 to 8 of G of t dt minus how many were removed. We're going to go from 0 to 8 because this one was when the store opened, and this will be f of t dt. We could have the order of any of these switched around. That's totally fine. And if we calculate that all out, we are going to get 23.347. So let's see our point breakdown here. We're going to get 1 point for each integral, and then we are going to get 1 point for that final answer. So that's how that works.